So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the show. Today we have something special prepared for you guys, And before I get into all that, I want to ask all of you to please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Also, don't forget, if you want to get our messages when we're going to be live or when we drop a video, Kino's always telling me to tell you guys to, ring the bell or something, push the bell. I don't know how to say that, but you know what I'm trying to say. So if you don't mind, hit the bell and you'll get all our notification is the word, notifications. You'll get our notifications, right, guys? Um, we're going to be talking about, a few things today that you guys need to know about, and I'm sure that most of you they're here, you know about this already because you guys are very, very shrewd and very, very smart. So before I start, I want to also let you guys know that right now there's a very, very big campaign with all the Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market dealers and channels. They're pushing Richard Mille like you won't believe it, Richard Mille, I've been telling you for some time that Richard Mille is dead in the water. But you have all these channels, you know who the channels are, you know what I'm trying to say. Channels like, Boxing Black Eyes, The Night at the Roxbury Brothers. One is smart, one is dumb, one talks, those doesn't talk, You know what I'm trying to say? Those people are pushing it, the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo, they're pushing Richard Mille watches, as the guy from over there too, from Beverly Hills, to pay Wigman is also doing his part. You remember that I told you this, and I'm gonna tell you again. I told you guys that this gentleman, the Iron Sheik tunic man, the one that wears the Iron Sheik, the whole tunic, white tunic with the black thing up here. It's unbelievable, that guy, and I've told you guys I always give him props, that he has $1 billion in watch inventory. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this guy must have just on Richard Mille's, Richard Mille's, he must have another another $250 million on Richie Mille's, because they're dead in water. Nobody is buying that. You know what people are buying today. You know what they're buying. You know what they want. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what they want. They want that GOLD. That's what they want. They don't want no more of this STD, TPT, NTPTTT. STP, they don't want that no more. They don't want that, material. They want gold, They want the 49ers. They want the gold rush. That's what they want. They want that all day long, every day. Nobody wants no more that plastic thing no more. They don't want it no more, They can really, continue pushing it. But right now, there is a, there's a stampede of people, all over the world looking for gold, gold, the gold rush, the 49ers, they're coming down, to the rivers looking for it, all over the place. So just to let you know what they're doing, they're pushing Richard Mille watches, and it's your job to say out there, Richard Mille watches are dead in water, People want gold. That's what you need to do. That's all. That's all you need to do. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something that I have to tell you. In this channel, we talk about everything that we learn, all of us, because you guys teach me and Sweet Kid Kino. You teach us too. This is a two-way street, not a one-way. This is a two-way street. You teach me, I teach you, And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I keep on telling you, that for some reason you have to, if you haven't, so you can understand what's happening in the world right now, you must watch It's your duty to do this. So you can talk to your buddies, your colleagues, and you know what you're talking about. You need to see the documentary Inside Job. You need to see it. That's something else that is in your arsenal. You need to see it. You need to see it like watching The Network, But The Network was a movie. The Network was a movie. 99 Homes was a movie. They Live was a movie. But you need to watch the documentary Inside Job so you understand what's happening out there, right? I hope I'm being real clear. You need to watch it. The more I see what's happening in the world right now, the more you have to see it, No, I haven't seen it still. I have not seen it still, Mr. Donut, but I am going to see it. I am going to see it. Thank you so much for, reminding me. I have to see it. You got to see Inside Job so you can see the way, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, the banking system is unbelievable, The banking system is something that when you see Inside Job, you're going to be able to understand what these bankers, what's their role, what's their role in the world, because it's the world. It's not just here in the States, it's the world, because the leader of that pack, you know who it is. It's Mr. Rothschild, and Rothschild. And then you have the JP Morgans, the Vanguards, State Street. You have all these people. Let me say something to you guys, because I feel like we have 17 organic Watch Channel subscribers looking at this live stream. As Mr. Donor showed me, that I have to say this is a live stream, so I'm using that word. But I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. These people from the banking sector, they're unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, man, these people, there's no doubt in my mind that the banking system has a lot to do with the political world, has a lot to do. And I'm going to tell you something, one very famous, I want you to listen to this, one very famous banker, one very famous banker said these words, he said one day these words, I don't care, listen to what he said, I don't care who makes the laws. If I manage the money, I'm making the laws. Papi, that's brutal. That is brutal. You should write this down again. You should write this. You should write this. You should write this, because this is from somebody. And I'm not going to get into the subject, but this is somebody famous banker. Famous banker. And he said those words that you just heard. No sean lambones. No sean lambones. No sean palomos. This man, this famous banker said, I don't care. I don't care. The more I read it, I go, wow. I don't care who makes the laws. I don't care. This guy says, I don't care who makes the laws. I don't care who makes the laws. Oye, eso es la tranca. You know what it is to say, I don't care who makes the laws. I don't care who makes the laws. If I manage the money, I'm making the laws. Papi, listen to me. I come here to teach you what I learned. And what Kino teaches me, I teach you. Because Kino's is the brains of this channel. Kino's the brains of this channel. And I'm only the voice. And your hairs stand up when you hear such a thing. When you hear something like that somebody tells you, I don't give a frog who makes the laws. I don't don't give a frog who makes the laws. If I manage the money, I'm making the frogging laws. My hair's boom. I said, wow, man, that's nasty. Nasty. This is why I told you it doesn't matter what color you belong to, or red or blue or red. It doesn't matter. Papi, what's happening right now it's been made by the ICA. It's been designed. This has been designed. They have designed this whole. Let me drink some jungle juice because I'm getting excited, guys. Please forgive me. You need to see inside jobs so you can see the way these people operate in the banking system, the banking sector. It's unbelievable. These people are unbelievable. What's happening right now, it's been done by design. By design. It's been made by design. Good for you. Wow. Good for you. Good for you, Thurston Howard III. I'm happy you saw that movie. You've never watched it before? Part 3, The Godfather? So, you got there Al Pacino and Andy Garcia, and what's his name again? The guy that did, what's his name? I forgot his name, but he made the movie House of Cards, I believe. Good movie. So I just want to repeat to you guys, do yourself a favor when you have a chance. Man, if you smoke a stogie, a little cigar, and you like a little cognac, you dip in your cigar and you watch that documentary, Papi. I'm telling you, you're gonna get sharper. You will have to get sharper because it's unbelievable what you see there. The way these people manipulate the banking system is unbelievable, and they don't give a hood. They don't, exactly. You gotta be careful. If you're doing THC, be careful with that, right? So don't forget to watch that. I also want to tell you people something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, for whatever reason, whether I told you guys always that Rolex has something with sitting down in the round table. I don't have no doubt in my mind that Rolex has something to be sitting down in the round table. Many presidents have used their watches. Many of them, whether you want to believe it or not, and many presidents have used their watches in our country and around the world. So I don't have no doubt in my mind that Rolex. Forget it. I told you the other day that Rolex came in as number 5, as one of the best, luxury brands in the world. With all the hoopla they went through, they still made it to number 5. From a 1 to 10, they made it to 5. And then on top of that, you have un lambón y un palomo that says, they might be number 5, They might be number 5, but they're still number 1 in marketing and branding and all that, Like saying, we put them in 5 because, we had to, but if not, we would have put them in before Porsche, So just to let you know what's happening with that, all right? What's happening with that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking still about gold, and I've been telling you that gold is just going to keep on, going to the stars. Gold is going to keep going to the stars. Whether you want to believe it or not, I'm telling you because this is what I feel. I have told all of you that you have to learn how to read. Listen to me carefully. That you have to learn how to read subliminal messages. It's very important in the times that we're living. It's been there always, it's been there always. It's like, when I told you that Dwight Eisenhower left the White House, his farewell speech, and he said, watch out for this and watch out for that and watch out for this, He told everybody in a very, very honest way so you can see it, it couldn't have been more subliminal than that, But this has been said many times over and over. You have to learn how to read a subliminal message. It's very, exactly. Thank you very much, Thurston Howell III. Coño, Thurston Howell siempre está en punto, you know? Very good. Thank you very much, Thurston Howell III. Read what Mr. Thurston Howell III just put there. I mean, he couldn't have said it better than that, you know? And I'm going to tell you something, because I'm a person that I try to, you know, study everything. When I want to learn something, I dive into it and I try to dissect it so I can understand what's happening, you know? And I know that I've been telling you guys that gold is going to go to the moon. And I'm going to keep on telling you that because I read every single subliminal message I can see. If you send me a picture or something, I'm looking at the picture, but I'm looking at his suit, his tie, his hair, his hands. You know, I'm looking at everything in that picture before I tell you anything. And you should do the same thing. You know, I do it because I'm stupid like that. That's how I was, you know, that's how Paco, you know, showed me and my father. They showed me, no. Don't look at a picture and just, oh, how beautiful. No. Look at it, that in that picture, there's a message for you, right? Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Listen to me, what I'm trying to tell you. This is no bullshit. When you look at a picture, look at it real good. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a picture that I saw like 48 hours ago. And I must share with you guys. I must share with you. And I did a rerun of one of my videos. And I put yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that I put there, I put something, look for this picture. And many people didn't find the picture. And that's fine. You didn't find it, because I'm going to share it with you guys. You know, this gentleman, this new gentleman, you know, from the Pennsylvania Avenue, you know, over there, that guy is living in the White House, you know, that guy, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw a picture of him. You know, the guy, you know, the new guy that's in charge, you know, the new guy that's, you know, the new guy, Putin, and that guy, you know, from China. They're all together, the triangle, you know, el triángulo, the triangle, right? So I'm looking at the picture. And it's unbelievable. It's that guy, you know, the guy from Pennsylvania Avenue, standing, you know, very, very straight. He's standing in the picture. And ladies and gentlemen, these are the words that this picture had. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? There's a little jungle juice, man. I need some jungle juice to relax my body, you know? Unbelievable, that wife of mine. He's not going well. He was at the Open US today. Okay, so then you know something, right? Listen to me. Listen to me, that in my next video, I'm gonna put this thumbnail. Thumbnail? Is it called thumbnail? You know, thumbnail, right? In the picture that I'm looking at, you see him there looking sideways, the president looking sideways. And then it says these words: the golden age. The word "the" is spelled T-H-E and white. Golden is spelled like you know it, you know, G-O-L-D-E-N, in gold. In gold, color de oro. The golden in age is in white, A-G-E. Papi, it's there. It's telling you. Gold is going to go all the way up. All the way up. I mean, all the way up. I'm already convinced that gold is going to go over $4,000. Easy. Thurston Howell III told me, Juan, that's easy peasy cake. I don't know. He told me something to that effect. You know, Thurston Howell III told me that's 10,000 is easy. And I'm saying it's going to go over 5,000 like it's a joke. You got to see the picture, the president, you know, like this standing. And it says, the golden age. The, spelled in white. Age, spelled in white. Golden in gold. Papi, I read every subliminal message I can get my hands on, Papi. Papi, what they're going to do to us is going to be, they're going to dissect us. They're going to dissect us. And he's on board. He is on board. Whatever the ICA says is what he's going to do. You know? The message has been sent, Papi. You tell him, Damon. You tell him, Damon. You need to see the signs. That's why I told you, you look at the picture. You sit there and you look at it. And you look at it. And it's right in front of your face. It's right in front of your face. Man, my hairs, I got goosebumps. I say, oh my God. This motherfucker is telling us in our face. But the thing is, that it's us 23, we are awakened to that, right? But Papi, the world is skip hopping around through life like bunny rabbits. You know, skip hopping around. Thinking about this, thinking about, and these people, man, they have designed this to the T. They have sat down. Design, Papi, it's made by design. And I'm telling you, in my next video that I upload, I'm gonna put the thumbnail there so you can see him. You see like a little small little body of his, and he's standing like that, and then you see the golden age. Papi, it's their time. It's gold, man. It's gold. It's gold. You know, it's gold. I said, oh my God, it's right here. Look at this. These people, they're unbelievable the way they do. Hey, Papi, and let me explain to you, they all work together. Forget about that you think that, you know, Xi in China is not working. Forget about if Putin is not, they're all working together. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you something. The discipline that these countries have out there is unbelievable. The discipline they have is unbelievable. You know, in 2019, and I get goosebumps because again, it's unbelievable. These people are dictators, whatever you want to call them. Whatever you want to call them, I say, yes, that's true, whatever. This is the difference between America and those countries, you know, those other countries. Let's say Russia and China. You know, in 2019, there was a big state of the nation. You know, they were addressing the state of the nation in Russia. You know, they were addressing that. It was a big thing in 2019. And Putin was there, you know, he was there straight, standing there, and they started singing the national anthem of their country. You know, I don't know what the name of the national anthem of Russia is, but if anybody knows, put it up there so we can learn what it is, you know. So they were singing the national anthem. It's unbelievable, these people, you know, it's unbelievable. And so the host was a woman, you know, and she was next to him. And they started singing the national anthem, and the lady was, you know, like a parrot, still talking. And this man straight looked at her, and he went like this to her. Look at me. Ladies and gentlemen, that lady, in the moment that that man went like this, she must have aged like 10 years. You know, her body, her organs, they got old. Just when that man went after her. You know, try to understand what I'm the message I'm giving you. La potencia que tiene ese animal, you know, la potencia that animal has. When he went like this to her, he didn't say nothing. He just went, looked at her because she was wolfing her mouth, and he went, because they were singing the national anthem. I mean, these people have a discipline that they're in another spaceship, man. The truth is that they are in another spaceship. And I thought I should share with you who these people are. You know, this is why we have people like, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we have to stop being, you know, I saw something on a baseball game. Help me out, Damon. Help me out, Mr. Ed. Help me out, Thurston. Help me out, Mr. Dota. Help me out. Everybody help me out here. I was watching a baseball game, ladies and gentlemen, that was here in Miami, Florida. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason that we have so many things in this country that are wrong. We have that lady, Karen. You know, Karen the ball snatcher? You know, Karen the ball snatcher? We got to stop being Karen the ball snatcher. You know, the lady that was from Philadelphia. And she was here watching the baseball game. You know? And the ball went a home run. It went in there. And they ran for the ball. All of them ran. And a father being a good father, boy, he beat, you know, Karen the ball snatcher. And he took it and he went and gave it to his son. You know, if you've never seen this, you got to look at it so you can learn. You know, it's unbelievable. Karen the ball snatcher. And she went crazy, you know, and she went crazy. And I'm telling you, you cannot continue being Karen's the ball snatcher. You can't. So the lady went over there and she gave the lip to that gentleman that he gave the ball to his son. And the lady, you know, she touched him and the man got scared. And the man, ladies and gentlemen, did something unbelievable. This man did something that my whole respect to him. The little boy had the ball inside his glove, you know, a souvenir. And the father, without even asking a question, put his hand inside the glove, took the ball out, and gave it to the lady. But the eye in the sky was looking at everything. Like I told you, they're looking at you always. This is why you need to put your glasses on, because they're looking at you. They want to see your behavior. And that man took the ball, gave it to Karen the ball snatcher. And a couple of innings into the ball game, they came with a big box of, you know, glove, batting glove, baseball bat, you know, a hat, a shirt, you know, autograph. They gave him all that. You know, because, you know, we live in a world, you know, or this country, we're upside down, you know. Karen the ball snatcher. You know who Karen the ball snatcher is? Has anybody seen what I'm talking about? Or am I crazy? You know, am I crazy? Unbelievable. I cannot continue being Karen's the ball snatcher. You know, enough of that stuff, you know? Enough of that. I also want to say something to you. Saludos. I want to talk about Alberto. You know, Alberto is from Italia. He's an unbelievable gentleman, you know. He's an unbelievable. He's here right now live. He says he's in a hotel. He's a man that travels the world, you know. So, you know, Alberto, you know, if you guys don't belong to our very powerful platform, you know, a platform that we have in Facebook, you know, it's a private group that we have, you know. So we have, it's funny, Mr. Donut. We have a private group and people that can put whatever they please. You know, you put whatever you want. And Mr. Alberto went to Geneva, you know, Geneva, to a watch convention over there in that side of town. And ladies and gentlemen, if you belong to our group, well, you saw it already. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? We're talking about Alberto. He was in Geneva and he saw one of his favorite Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market dealer, you know? And they took a snapshot, a picture. You're not going to believe this. It was Alberto. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because I have to tell you. It was Alberto, ladies and gentlemen, for all of you. It was Alberto with deputy boxing black eyes. Unbelievable. If you want to see that picture, you go to our platform. If you haven't joined our, you know, our platform in Facebook, request it. Maybe Sweet Kid Kino and Samantha will let you in. You know, maybe they'll let you in. But the picture's there. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know, there is Alberto right there. He's putting laughing out loud. Alberto, am I lying or is it true what I'm saying? You know, it's unbelievable. You know, a picture with deputy boxing black eyes, just to let you know what's going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we also have another gentleman in this subscriber. He's a subscriber to this channel. I believe he's a subscriber, but he belongs to our platform and Facebook too. on Facebook. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you, Papa. He belongs to our group as well, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you, you can put whatever you want. I'm even gonna like it. I like Alberto's picture, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about no other than Franco Fiore. Franco Fiore. Franco Fiore sent a link to our channel. And ladies and gentlemen, it's like it's in the family, you know. Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. In this case, we're talking about Deputy Boxing Black Eyes' son, you know. He still hasn't, you know, let go of this kid, you know, that I call in a sweet way the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown. You know, the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown, he's like a sidekick clown for these people, you know. They got him, lo tienen de gilipollas, lo tienen de morón, you know, de morón. You know what morón is? Moron, you know. Lo tienen de morón, you know. You know, so increíble, lo tienen de morón. So they put there, they sent me this link, and I look at it, and it was from, you know, Mr. Fiore, Franco Fiore. He's unbelievable, you know. This kid cannot have any luck, you know. This Puerto Rican Charlie Brown doesn't have no luck. If you haven't seen this video, I mean, you know, you're going to see something that's fake. You know, they say he has 20,000 subscribers. It only gets like, you know, 400 views, but he has 20,000 subscribers, and that's all good. But the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown in that video that they made, now he has an old Audi 8, you know, and the Deputy Boxing's Black Eye son is filming him ahead of him, and the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown is. This is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. You have to, Alex, if you want to see the video, you try to request to join our Facebook club, and maybe Sweet Kikino and Samantha let you in. The video is there, Bobby. You know, you see it there, you can see the whole thing. But the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown is in his Audi 8. And you're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe this. It's sad to see the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown struggling so much, you know. You know, Alex has told me always, Alex, that he flips a coin, you know, and he can never win a coin flip. Never win a coin flip. And ladies and gentlemen, this day he couldn't win it either. He was in his Audi 8. And the back wheel, you know, one of those fat wheels, it flew off the car. And they have it recorded. It's unbelievable, you know. Exactly. He's always losing, and he's like a clown for these people, you know. I don't know why he lends himself to be to be abused that way with these, you know, these people, you know, from over there, you know, from Pennsylvania, you know. I don't know why he does that, but if you want to see something good, take a look see at that. All right, guys, just to let you know what's going on. And I also want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You know, in Chicago, Illinois, he needs help. He does. Pobrecito, he's too deep. In Chicago, Illinois, there was a Rolex. No, not that it was. There is a Rolex store there. Chicago, Illinois. They're talking about sending the National Guard, sending ICE. If you don't know about this, you're going to know it today, because I'm stupid like that. And what I learned, I give it to you for free. For free. And over there in Chicago, in one of those fancy streets, in the daylight everywhere. Beautiful Rolex authorized dealer. 5 people got off the cars, started banging all the outside windows, taking all the Rolex watches. You know, it was something unbelievable. It looked like the movie Heat. You know, the movie Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and what's his name? The guy that passed away not too long ago. God had his soul up there. I forgot his name. You know, that guy, he did the flying airplanes too. I forgot, but he died. You know, all these actors were there, and it looked like that. You know, and they took all the Rolex watches. Val Kilmer, correct. They took everything, and there was a chase going all over Chicago, and cars flying everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for real. Times are going, people are going crazy. La gente está loca. You guys didn't see this? You guys didn't see this stuff? They got all the people, they round them all up. It was unbelievable. They got arrested. But ladies and gentlemen, that happened in Chicago, Illinois. You know, you should know all this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have a robbery of gold. You know, the gold rush, gold. And you're not going to believe that this happened in Manhattan Beach, California. Unbelievable. They came like como ratas, like rats. They came from the roof. They made holes and everything, and this was unbelievable. I'm telling you, it was like Heat, like the movie Heat. They broke concrete about, I don't know, 8 inches thick, gravel. They broke in. They stole millions of dollars in gold. You guys don't know about that either? Es que no saben nada, Kino. No saben nada. ¿Qué te voy a decir, Kino? Oh, so then you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Donald. So then you know about this. They blasted, they made holes on the concrete. They made holes on the safes. Papi, that was unbelievable. Millions of dollars in gold disappeared. Did they get the people, Mr. Donald, on that inside job that you're telling me, or they haven't got them? Donald lo sabe. It's unbelievable what's happening in the world. The world's upside down, ladies and gentlemen. The world's upside down. Manhattan Beach. That's neat. Wow. You didn't know about this, Damon? It's all over the news. They wiped out. They wiped out the safes. I think there were 2 safes. They wiped them out. They had millions of dollars in gold. President Nixon was president. Wow. So, what I'm trying to say is people are desperate out there, and people will do desperate things to, feed their needs, Look at that, 10 to 20 million dollars. That lady, when she was talking, she said like this, and now I believe her. She said they stole every single thing from this store. Papi, these people are animals out there. These people, when they prepare themselves, you're going down. You're going down. They wiped her out. She was crying. They wiped her out. If it was an inside job, like Mr. Donut said, that's unbelievable, because, man, they took everything but the nails, but the nails on the floor. They took everything they can get their hands on. These people, la desesperación, the people out there están jodidos, la gente está jodido. Están jodido. So, I think that we have to touch a couple of subjects. I think we're going to go into the watch market update. If you want to see the link of the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown, if you want to see the picture with Mr. Alberto with Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, it's there. You can see it. We don't, no. Here, you can put, it doesn't bother me, put it there. You can put the links and let my people go to them and see them. I'm going to just tell you one thing so you know what's going on. These channels that you guys love to watch, listen, a good lie is a good lie. A good lie, remember when you were a kid and you were in the locker room with your buddies, 9th grade, freshman year, sophomore year, and you would tell your friend, I took the baby out, I made out with her, I did this with her, but it was a good lie, it was a good lie. I almost got the home plate, we like to hear a good lie, but I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, those channels don't got no more content, man. Those channels don't got no more content. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. They don't have no more content. You got people now, they're doing content like that gentleman. He's nothing wrong with this, please, with all the respect. He has, I think he just shaves his head bald, and he talks about, he's very proper, and he's talking about the situation with the watch situation. And you have another one, I believe he's Asian, and he talks about in his analysis, You know, these are the people that are out there now. You know, all these people that have flim flam, you guys, they're not around no more. You know, they're not around. The only one you have still doing some kind of content, whether you want to believe it or not, is the two toddler body brothers, you know, out of Miami, Florida. You know, they did a crossover from American to Latin, you know, to get the Latin people now, you know, to get the Latin people, you know, because there's no more. There's no more content. Don't look for it because it ain't there no more, you know. I've been trying to find, Kino's been trying to find for me a new arrivals watches from Boxing Black Eyes, and he hasn't done one in 2 months, you know. Porque no hay, no money, no honey, papi, you know, no hay, there's no watches, you know, no watches. You also have the two Jehovah Witness brothers, Never Again, Big Pun Heavy D, Never Again, and then you have the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo, that he does an 8-minute, you know, 8-minute video talking about, you know, wishy-washy stuff, you know. La situación está jodida. The only people that are bringing something to the table is people like Sweet Kid Kino, you know. Sweet Kid Kino is unbelievable, and he's still here bringing, you know, content for you guys for free, you know, porque somos unos lambones, you know, somos lambones nosotros. Eso es lo que hay. Just to let you know about that. Don't forget to watch the documentary Inside Job. Do not forget to watch the documentary Inside Job. You need to watch it, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna give you a watch market update so you guys can have a beautiful, you know, beautiful night. Our first watch, and it's sad when I talk about this watch brand because I have a lot of respect for it. It's the Vacheron Constantin, you know, Vacheron Constantin, the overseas model. We're talking about the 6000V, 110, you know. So beautiful. It's a tourbillon, beautiful blue dial. This is an unbelievable watch, and I gotta tell you, I gotta tell all of you out there that if you like Vacheron Constantin, that's wonderful because I do love it myself. But if you're getting that watch for as an investment, this watch is oof. You know, this watch at one moment in that Corona beer era, it was over $200,000, and this watch has a retail price of $129,000. It's stainless steel. It's a tourbillon. Wow, man, Thomas said that, man. Wow. Oof. I mean, you guys are on fire already, man. If somebody's saying $69,000, oof. Thomas just said $69,000, guys. I want you to hear that. Thomas said $69,000. And it's sad, you know, a tourbillon with the most beautiful blue dial in the watch industry. Out of the, you know, out of the industry making dials, a blue dial, there's nobody like these people at Vacheron Constantin. It's a blue purple, you know, it's a blue, it's sabroso, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, I told you it has a retail price of $129,000. Tourbillon, stainless steel. And I'm going to have to tell you because Thomas just said $69,000. And when I hear that, I get happy. You know, I get happy because, you know, it shows that what I'm giving you, you know, it is what it is. He says $69,000, Thomas. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. And Mr. Donut says $70,000. Check this out. Don't pay for that watch more than $71,000. Done! Done! You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about another Vacheron Constantin overseas. This is the older reference number. Rose Gold 4500V. 110R, beautiful watch. Again, you know, rose gold, the craftsmanship. I feel like I'm promoting Vacheron, but it's the truth. The craftsmanship of these people, oh, you know, they're animals, man. They're animals. And rose gold You know, beautiful, beautiful blue dial with that rose gold. The 4500V, 41 millimeter. Retail price is $60,500. Papi, it's sad when you hear that watch is under retail. But if you say it's under retail, 2-3 Gs, you say okay, it's 2-3 Gs and that's it. But no, it's becoming a number of gold. You know, we're selling you gold. You know, scrap gold. You know, here's gold for you. Wow, Christopher said 45. And last week I forgot, you know, I think it was on Thursday that he said a number and I forgot to show it to him, and I had it written down of $38,000. I'm sorry I forgot, Chris, but you hit it right in the head that time. And now you're saying 45. I mean, Christopher sounds to me at times like he's a watch dealer, or he's just really doing a lot of studying. Don't pay for that Vacheron Constantin rose gold overseas blue dial. Don't pay more than $43,000 and down, kilo, échame para atrás, duro, échame para atrás, duro, down again, uno más, le voy a dar uno más, down again, dead. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I need to drink water when I get too excited, you know, about these Vacheron Constantin watches. They're dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. He's dead. You sure do, because you're on target, Papa. Congratulations to you, Mr. Donut, everybody. Congratulations to all of you guys out there with those numbers. It's unbelievable. Our next watch is a Vacheron Constantin overseas stainless steel, the 4500. This is the 4500 stainless steel with a blue dial. You know, stainless steel, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, this watch. Retail price is $25,000. $25,000. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you not to pay for that Vacheron Constantin overseas 4500 stainless steel blue dial? Does anybody know? No? Nobody knows? Well, here it goes. Don't pay for that Vacheron Constantin overseas blue dial, stainless steel. Don't pay for that watch more. Don't get scared, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay more than $18,900. And congratulations to you, Mr. Donut. Congratulations to you, Mr. Thomas. Wow. Wow. Look at you guys, Mr. Blair. Fire. You guys are bringing fire to the show. Don't do it. You did. Don't do it. I don't care what they tell you. You do whatever you want. It's your money and you spend it as you please. You know, you spend it as you please. And that's fine. You know, listen to me. You know, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how good you guys are. Let's see how good you guys are. I'm going to be talking about a Vacheron Constantin overseas. Overseas. Amen. Juanito, unbelievable. We're going to go. I'm going to give you a watch here. This here is for chapter 22. I want to see where you guys are at. This is a Vacheron Constantin overseas. Stainless steel. Listen to the words. World Time Silver. The World Time Silver. The 7700V. Listen, if you guys are Googling this, it's no good. We want to see what you're doing for real. We want to see where you're at. This watch is so unbelievable. It's a monster watch. It's a monster watch. You put this on your watch, you put this on your wrist, and you walk around, the mommies go crazy. They throw la panty cagada, te la tiran, you know? Te la tiran la panty cagada. They throw it at you. What? Yeah. So, oh, Thomas, you already saying that price? Wow. Look what Thomas wrote down. This is a World Time Silver, the 7700V 110A. Has a retail price, ladies and gentlemen. Has a retail price. This is crazy, man. That's how you know that, wow. $42,200 is the retail price of that watch, plus your Uncle Sam's taxes. $42,200. Christopher saying $16,000. And I'm going to tell all of you this so you guys don't make a mistake. Don't pay for that watch. Senor, you requested this price. Don't get scared now. You take a clip from this show and you send them this, what I'm telling you. Look at what Ricardo Cruz is saying. $35,700. Christopher said 16. Ricardo said 35,700. Wow, let me get some water. Ladies and gentlemen, the retail price is $42,200. And I'm going to tell you because I'm stupid like that. Don't pay for that watch. I mean, you do whatever you want. You know, if you want to give your money away to these people who have been flim-flamming you and fleecing you for too long, that's up to you. But don't pay for that watch more than $19,000 and done! Done! You know, hold me back. Hold me back. Done! Done! Done me again! Done me again! Cuéntame. Dead. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. You know, when I see the gentleman like Ricardo Cruz say $35,700, I get worried. I get worried. You know, and then you have a gentleman like Christopher that's saying $16,000. Okay, he missed it by 3, but he's on track. He knows that watch is a dog with fleas. He knows it. Even though they're not a dog with fleas, it's an unbelievable watch. Papi, it's that, you know, it's Los Lambones, the Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market dealers only hype up one watch brand. It's only one in reality. Don't think it's AP, don't think it's Patek. It's called the king of watches. That's all. The king of watches. You do whatever you want and you believe whatever you want. Cash is king. Cash is king, Bobby. You take it out, I'm telling you, put it there, bam. People get scared. He needs to take more notes. Yes, he does, Mr. Blair, but it's what it is. But look what Ricardo Cruz said, $35,000. $35,700, Bobby. And you know what that means? Ricardo's not gonna pay that, but that means that somebody will pay that. Somebody will pay that. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, wait till you hear this one. This is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas. Stainless steel. Chrono. Reverse Panda. Black dial, white gauges. You know? Unbelievable, this watch. This watch I remember like it was yesterday, the 5500. You know, 42.2 millimeter chrono. Unbelievable watch. Unbelievable watch. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch was all the way up. All the way up. And I'm embarrassed to tell you what not to pay for that watch. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. The reverse Panda 5500V. Retail price is $35,600, and you know, it's unbelievable. Thomas is saying 21. I don't know, man. This Thomas scares me, man, at times. It scares me because, you know what? Oh my God. You know what? We have a trifecta. 3 people said $21,000. And you're not going to believe this. Ding, 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 ding. That's exactly the number I'm giving out today. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more than $21,000 and dump me again. I can't believe it. Dump me again. Dump me again. Unbelievable, you people. Unbelievable. Somebody stop me. I need some Jungle juice. Unbelievable. What a show we have here today. And what do I get? Yo no puedo creer esto. I gotta show them this one, man. They said all $21,000. Oof. That's the biggest drop. You know it. I went out. I feel strong, powerful. Jungle juice. It got me crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe this. I gotta show you that $21,000. How can I show it to them? How can I do this? I'm gonna have to rip the paper and I can't do it still. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch that I will show you. You three gentlemen that have $21,000, you're gonna, I promise you, Mr. Donut, please remind me if you see that I'm forgetting. Our next watch is a Rolex, two-tone, the Blue Z. Blue dial, you know, unbelievable. Submariner, reference number 116613, 40 millimeter. Retail price is $15,800. You do yourself a favor. If you're looking for a sub, you go with your money. Here, you take it out, you put it on the table, and you tell them like this. I give you for that sub, that reference number. Does anybody know what I'm going to say? Wow, $14,000. Está bien. Está bien, $14,000. Anybody else? That was a good number, 14. Anybody else? There it is. Thomas again. Listen, I don't know. I'm telling you, he is always in those numbers. Thomas, I don't know. He's my friend. I don't know. Don't pay for that. Bluesy, don't pay more than $12,100. And bam! You do whatever you want. I don't know. Thomas, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Submariner, yellow gold, 40 millimeter, blue dial. This is a collector's unit, collector's choice, collector's dream, collector's grade, and collector's grave. You know, collector's grave. It's an unbelievable watch, you know? So unbelievable watch. Retail price is $27,500. I don't know. I don't know. This Thomas is I'm telling you, every single number he's there. He will freak me out if he sees a number on this one now. He will freak me out. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Rolex Submariner, yellow gold, blue dial, 40 millimeter. You know, reference number again, just in case you want to look it up. It's the 16618. 16618. Retail price $27,500. Don't pay for that watch more, and you want it with all the bells and whistles. You want it with all the bells and whistles. Don't pay for that watch more. Thank you. Don't pay for that watch more, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay. I mean, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than. Ready? Here goes, Mr. Donut. Don't pay for that watch more than $25,000. Wow. Bam! Ricardo Cruz just got it right in the head. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Don't pay more than that. Felicidades, Ricardo. Felicidades, Papa. Well done. Very well done. Wow. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another watch here, another Rolex. We have the Rolex Daytona Oyster Flex, mother of pearl, diamond dial, diamond bezel. This is an unbelievable watch, you know, Oyster Flex, you know, it's an unbelievable watch. You guys listen and learn, you know. Rolex Daytona Oyster Flex, 40 millimeter, diamond bezel, diamond, it's unbelievable, mother of pearl, diamond dial. This is an unbelievable watch. Listen to the reference number, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the reference number. Reference number is the 126589 RBR. Letters RBR. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen, for real. Unbelievable. You know, that mother of pearl with diamond markers, and it has a diamond bezel. Tremendo reloj, you know, white gold. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful watch. And ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't have that meteorite dial that you guys are looking for, you know. It has that mother of pearl with the diamond markers. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this watch, the retail price, I'm going to give you the retail price because I feel like I should give you the retail price. It's $70,450. $70,450. Does anybody know what I'm going to have to pay for that watch? Okay, 45 by Ricardo. Okay, 45,000. It's a little higher than that. It's higher than that. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, stop it right there with this gentleman. His name is Boeing. Boeing. Stop it with Boeing. Leave it right there. I'm not even going to look no more over there. Don't pay for that watch more than $69,000. And you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a watch here. Okay, okay, Christopher. Christopher, let's see how you can do with this watch. All of you, let's see how you can do with this watch. This one here is another Rolex Daytona. Oyster Flex. 40 millimeter. Rose gold. Diamond bezel. Diamond on the lugs. Diamond dial. They call this Daytona the giraffe. They call this the giraffe. You know? Brown Oyster Flex rubber. You know? Giraffe. A little brownish inside. The giraffe. They call it the giraffe. Does anybody know this is off catalog? You have to be somebody big to get this watch. You gotta be big to get this watch. Boeing, you gotta be big to get this watch. You know, so it's an unbelievable watch. It has a giraffe dial with diamond in it. Okay, 290. It's a well, exactly, Alex. You have to be somebody. They take you in the back, you know, and they wax your congestion sinuses, you know. They wax you, you know. They wax you back there. Something they do to get that watch. You know, exactly. Mammoth, Goliath, you know, 245. Look at that, Christopher. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Follow Christopher, ladies and gentlemen. Follow him. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Rolex Daytona Oyster Flex 40 millimeter diamond bezel giraffe diamond dial. Reference number 126555 TBR. Off catalog. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, Christopher. If you want to pay $245, that's your money, and you can do that. But don't pay for that watch more than $230,000 and down. You do whatever you want. You do, and it's dropping. Be careful, it's dropping. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna talk to you about the Rolex GMT Sprite, the stainless steel. You know, I never going to go and say that, you know, watches that they're just dead and they're not buying, right? I never say that to nobody. But I must just say to you guys that if you are looking into the Rolex GMT stainless steel Sprite, either in an Oyster bracelet or in a Jubilee bracelet, you know, these people are having a hard time moving this watch. And when you guys get it, they're not paying what you believe they're gonna pay. You know, you're not gonna get it because the watch is right now is having trouble. The watch being sold, it's an unbelievable time machine. Now, okay, you're right. It's not for everybody. Yeah, I'm more, you know, clean straight lines. But yeah, you're right, Christopher. So that GMT is beautiful. It's nice in its left hand, and they've been telling you guys that the watch is going to get discontinued one day and all that good stuff, and that's fine. All that is good. But I'm going to tell you, be very, very careful if you are buying the watch. If you get the phone call from the AD and you're buying it because you want to, you know, flip it over quickly and make a couple of dollars, be very, very careful because that watch is being, you know, it's being slow. Slow, you know. Look at this. I didn't say that. The Sprite is a big dog. I didn't say that. You read what Christopher wrote down. He said it's a big dog. So he said it for me. I'm going to tell you. Do yourself a favor. If you have the Oyster Sprite, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $14,300. You know, don't pay more than $14,300. If you have the Jubilee, don't pay for that watch more than $15,000 $200. I'm telling you this so you guys can protect yourself, because you guys are gonna get phone calls. Listen to me. People say, well, I'm not getting a phone call. I'm not getting a phone call. Bobby, maybe you're not getting it, but people are getting phone calls for Rolex watches and stainless steel. If I tell you this, you're going to have, you're probably not going to believe me, but right now, for some reason, esta gente de la Rolex, these people from Rolex, you know what watches they're right now holding to so they can see that they're measuring, those bankers. They're watching the bankers. They're watching the guy, the golden age. They're watching gold watches. Gold watches. They're telling ahora like, what do we do? What's going on, Did we get the phone call already? Did they call us? Did they let us know? So you got to watch it. And the white gold, I'm going to give you, because somebody just asked me for the white gold GMT Sprite. The one with the green dial, black and green ceramic bezel. I'm going to make it simple for you, Christopher, because you're asking me for it. This is a bonus. I'm giving everybody a bonus here. And I told you a couple of days ago what I told you. The retail price of that watch, the gold one, is $48,400. And I'm going to tell you straight, don't pay for that watch. That watch is dropping by the second. Dropping by the second. Don't pay for that watch more than $44,500. And there you go, you have it now, okay? So I gave you the Oyster bracelet, I gave you the price, and I gave you the Jubilee price on the Sprite. Be careful, right? No sean lambones. There's not a whole lot of meat left in the bone in that watch. There's something, but be careful. Be careful. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex GMT Yellow Gold Jubilee. I talked to you about this watch a few days ago. Let's see if you guys remember. The Rolex GMT Yellow Gold Jubilee, reference number 126718, 40 millimeter. The black and gray ceramic bezel. Retail price is $44,600. $44,600. What am I going to turn out to pay for that watch? Go ahead, shoot it. Let's see where you guys are at. Don't pay for that watch more than $37,000. Don't pay more than $37,000. I don't care what they tell you. Don't pay. You do whatever you want. Do whatever. He dead. That's another watch that is dead. No matter that they try to hype it among themselves, he's dead. He's dead. You do whatever you want. They're giving you the price of gold. This is it. Look, 35. I told you 37. Don't pay more than 37. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a Rolex Daytona John Mayer. The John Mayer, the green dial, 40 millimeter, reference number 116508, with a retail price of $38,700. Collector's choice, collector's dream, collector's grave, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. Collector's unit, collector's grave, This watch, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you guys don't believe me, but this watch at one moment, it went all the way up. It had the guts to go to $180,000 and go down to 168, 159. And people in a real big long line of lollipop suckers, window lickers, tomato cans, cow tippers, possum kickers, sandbags, crumb bums, ready to give away their children's tuition money to these lambones. It's unbelievable. I got disgusted. I said, we need to help these people, sweet Kino. That's what I told him. He said, we're going to do it. We got to help these people. These people are getting murdered. These people are getting murdered. And I'm going to tell you today, because I'm stupid like that, don't pay for that John Mayer. You do whatever you want. The green dial. Not the new one that came out a few months ago. Over there in Geneva. No. Not that one. I'm going to tell you today, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch more than $54,000. And don't care. I don't care what they tell you. You take it out, papi. To take out of your pocket today, $54,000, $55,000 is a stock like this. There's no money in the street. No sean lambones. You're gonna need that money. You're gonna need that money. No sean lambones. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex, stainless steel, Oyster Perpetual, green dial, pistachio green dial, 41 millimeter. You know, the 41 millimeter with a retail price of $6,600. $6,600. And this watch, when it first came out of the gates, they were asking stupid money for that watch. Stupid money, 17, 18, 19, 14. And I'm going to tell you today the truth, so you guys can defend your children's tuition money. Don't pay for that watch and you do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch. Good job, Boeing. Don't pay for that watch more than $11,200. Okay? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I'm going to give you a watch here that I spoke to you a few weeks ago. I'm going to give you this watch. It's an AP. Let me give you the 15400 first. AP Royal Oak, stainless steel, 15400, white dial, 41 millimeter. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that 15400 collector's unit. Don't pay more. You do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch more than $25,000 in dropping. Okay? Now this watch here that I'm going to talk to you is my last watch of the evening. But I want you to listen to this watch. And I am going to show you the $21,000 that all three of you got. Today I'm going to show it to you. This is a Audemars Piguet Royal Oak frosted white gold. Frosted white gold. Chronograph with a purple dial. This watch has been around, floating around in different chats that you're not going to believe it. This watch was at $290,000, papi. $290,000. And you had to be, like Mr. Blair says, a mammoth, Goliath. You have to be, brother, you have to be un elefante de la selva, an elephant from the Serengeti, somewhere over there, this is an unbelievable watch. There's no doubt in my mind. This is reference number 26331, purple dial. Purple dial. You put that in your hand, papi. Tú sabes, maybe the dial's a little strong for me, but, I'll try to put it one day, with a white shirt on, purple dial, boom, pops out. And this watch, I'm telling you, just like your Boeing little logo, you have the purple, beautiful, man, beautiful dial. And I'm telling you, it was up there, in that Corona beer era, Bobby was big money, big money. And ladies and gentlemen, they've been around there playing with 190, 180, 87, 184. Listen to me carefully, guys. And Tommy, this thing ain't moving, man. But you have the whole set. Yeah, I have the whole set. What's going on? Let's try to, hype it between me and you and a couple of dealers. Bobby, there's no money out there. Okay, let's try, and okay, let's go to 178. No takers, Bobby, no takers. I don't want to get you tired. I want you to go to sleep already. Ladies and gentlemen, and I told you a couple of weeks, don't pay more than 160 something. I told you, something like that I told you, right? Going down. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I'm a bad man. Those people come and look at my watch market update, because we have been chosen as the #1 watch market update show in the world by no other than Thurston. Don't forget this. Thurston, don't forget this. By no other than Fudinki. We're #1, papi. They come and listen to me. Yo soy un bestia. I'm a beast. Don't pay for that watch. Don't get scared. It's just money. Don't give away your children's money. Don't give it away. Don't pay for that watch more than 40. I said it wrong. Don't pay more than $149,000. And you do whatever you want La situación está jodida. Now, I'm going to show all of you. You three said $21,000, all of you. Where is it at? Where's the 20? What was the number we said? $21,000, right? Was it 21 or was it 2? 14, 37. Here it is. No. We don't play around here, Papa. You were thinking he doesn't know. He lied to us. No. Okay, you see the number? You see it? You can't see it? You see it or no? $21,000, Poppy. All of you got it. $21,000. All of you got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this watch market update. You know, this is not the best channel in the world. We're wrinkled. We're not pressed, and we don't have a tie, and we don't have all that sweetness. But we try to give you the best that we can. The most honesty that we can, and super elegant. We try to do all that for you guys. So I hope you learned something. We try to cover everything. Be careful with gold, man. Gold is, it's off the charts. It's going all the way to the moon, So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video, right, guys? Don't forget that. It's great to have you all here with me. You guys have been great. I've had a great time, doing my watch market update with you guys. Thank you so much again for being here with me. Thank you so much for being in my house, because I'm inviting all of you inside my house. Thank you again so much. Stay cool, stay right, all right? Stay cool and stay right. And like we say always, me and Sweet Kid Kino, take care and brush your hair. Good night, guys. Good night. Ciao.